Welcome to another Choose a Career segment. Today we're here with Miss Stephanie, and you may recognize her because she's been on EVTV quite a bit, giving out awards for the Player of the Week for football. So tell us a little bit about the career as far as insurance agency goes.
Absolutely. Well, I'm an independent contractor. I've been an agent for 15 years and actually own my own business. But there's so many other occupations other than that. You can be a claims adjuster, you can be an underwriter, you can be an attorney for the company. And then if you don't work for the company, you can actually work for someone like me, and it would be a customer care representative. You could be on the sales team, and I also have what's called holiday work, which is I have a part-time that usually comes in and does that. And then I have an aspirant. She's actually trying to get her own agency, so that's pretty cool too. So.
Okay. For those of us who might not understand, me included, by the way, lots of people who own their own insurance firms, you are under like a larger umbrella. How does that work?
Well, you're an independent contractor, and that means with State Farm, I only work with one company. Now, there are some independent agencies that have many companies, but I just work for State Farm.
Okay. And you sell policies to local people, and you're responsible for those policies and those people.
Yes, absolutely. So my job is to make sure, State Farm wants me to make sure that I keep my promises. When my customers call, that I return those phone calls, that I make sure that I follow up with claims, and I'm needs-based. So what that means is if you come in my office and you want to buy a policy, I'm going to ask you a whole slew of questions to make sure I get it accurate and what you need.
Because if that comes out in the future to not be accurate, it comes back to you.
Absolutely, it does.
So if somebody is interested in in selling insurance as a career, tell us the steps to make that happen. Does it require schooling past high school? Like how does that work?
Okay. Well, actually, to be a sales agent, you only need a GED.
Okay.
So that's what you need. But to be competitive, they encourage you to have actually a 4-year degree. So most State Farm agents, I would say probably 80% have a 4-year degree. So when you're wanting to do that, when I'm hiring aspirants, which means they aspire to be a State Farm agent,
sure,
then I encourage them to have a 4-year degree. But like I said, just to get started, you don't have to do that. But that needs to be your end goal to be competitive.
Okay. If you're starting out, what's the process? How does it work?
As far as being an agent?
Yep.
As being an agent?
You typically start under somebody else?
You do. So I'll tell you how I started. So I started very young at 13 years old. I know we don't start that young now, about 16. But I worked for a State Farm agent. I worked in my hometown. I filed. I helped with all kinds of different things, even mowed the yard. I mean, that's where I started. And then I just moved up. When I went to college, I worked for a State Farm agent. When I got out of college, I actually went and worked for a nationwide agent for about 2 years. And then I think I was 28 years old. I actually worked for State Farm, the company, and sold life insurance. I have worked my way up over the years. I've been an agent for 15 years, but I've worked for State Farm for 22 years.
What could students expect to make starting salary in some of those different areas of insurance?
Well, I know, like for my own office, it ranges anywhere, like holiday pay can be $10 an hour to if you have someone on the sales team, I mean, they can make in the high 80s. It's a very lucrative salary. They work long hours when you get up to 80,000.
Sure.
It's just a different job. I mean, you got part-time to full-time.
Mm-hmm. As far as the sales go, is that commission-based? How does that work?
So on the sales side, it absolutely is. So in every office is different. We employ our own sales team. So it doesn't have anything to do with State Farm. So for me, then I have a base. I provide a base, and then the base salary is based on what you sell, you make commissions. We also do benefits. I try to be very competitive because we have a lot of companies around here, FedEx,
right,
and different companies that I compete with, and I try to do that for my employees.
So students, if you are interested in the insurance market as maybe a career for you, of course you can visit our coach, Miss Hennessy. I'm sure Miss Stephanie would love to talk with you if you ever wanted to contact her as well. Thank you so much for coming and talking
You're
to us.
welcome. Thank you for your time.